Hi y'all, I am about to start painting on these two canvases again that I have not worked on for 6 months. It feels so good to be back in the studio again. So we have no idea what we're gonna do. This is intuitive, this is abstract. These are two large 48 by 60, which means 4 foot by 5 foot each canvases. So we're just gonna slap some paint on and have fun. And this is the fun part of intuitive or abstract. When you really don't have a plan, it all comes together. If you take my beginning videos when I first started my YouTube channel 2 years ago in April, and you look at Take Time to Play, you'll see 6 versions of it. It started out as just applying paint randomly. I even changed it and turned it upside down and just kept going. And then eventually it turned into people, and it's now titled Conversations. So we're going to get started today and just applying some paint. No telling what we're going to do. I'm just going to be playing. I may be adding some colors together here. Like I put some blue and red together and just applying it randomly, and maybe mixed in with some of the white. Just whatever happens. I'm just going to play. We're going to get brave later and just really go for it. But right now, I'm just kind of putting some paint on the canvas. Not really caring what goes where at this moment. I love drips, so I like to create places that you can spray some water on. It creates some cool drips, especially light over dark or dark over light. This is the play stage, and we're on layer 3. So we're still going to play for a while. And I'm going to extend some of the paint that I'm mixing up right now. I'm mixing up a color in some matte medium, and I'll kind of spread it around. This paint's gotten a little thick. It's a mixture. I don't even know what colors are mixed in it, but it makes kind of a light pinkish color when I mixed it in with that matte medium. And so use all the paint, even if it's on your palette knife. You use it up as much as you can. And I'm going to go in and just kind of scrape some of this in areas. I'm a messy artist, so I don't necessarily make it pretty and clean when I paint. That's okay. This is definitely set for too long, so I'm gonna add some water to it. When you mix paints in a container and they set for a while, you may have to mix them with a little water, or they may get even too dry to use. And then I just take them out completely, start all over with another color, and use the container for another color of paint. I like scraping into wet paint because you never know what look you're gonna get. And because this paint is so thick, I'm not even able to really use it like the other, but that's okay. I like old thick paint because you can do other things with it. You can even get your hands in it and just kind of play with it. Yes, hands in paint. And it's thick, so it's going to apply differently than the other thinner paints. And it creates some cool texture because it is thicker. I said thin, I meant thick. When you have thicker paint or use other things for texture and you get 12 layers on your painting, it just is amazing what texture shows through. So I'm just kind of throwing some of this gray on here in different ways. And I may even use some of it later with more white in it to create other effects. And painting with your hands is messy, but it's so much fun. Okay, I'm gonna scrape into some of those that I just applied thick paint in. There's a lot of texture right there. It's real thick. You can't see it on there, but I just kind of went over it with some of this gray so you could see the outline. It's got some raised texture, which is going to be so cool at the end. No telling how we'll use that, but we'll use it to our advantage somehow. Okay, lots of paper towels. And I'm going to take this handy dandy paintbrush that I created with an extension rod and some duct tape to an old brush, and I'm putting it into some liquefied black paint. Oops. I just dropped it into my gray, which is fine. Again, it's okay. Everything is okay. This one has gray and black on it, which is fine. It's got a lot of black in it. Using a big brush like this is fun because if you are at the end of it and you don't know what you're going to get, that makes it even more fun. Okay, I'm going to put it in some black paint, twirl it in it, and then I'm going to hold it from the end here, the edge, and just kind of apply paint randomly. See what happens. Because you don't know what's going to come out when you're doing a random long brush like this. It's not controlled. Whereas a shorter brush, you've got more control on. control with, but something like this, you just get this cool, awesome randomness. I like doing it with the black paint because it kind of shows over some of the other colors that I've already put down, which is fine. And I'll probably do this a lot more with each layer of these two paintings. It's hard to make a circle when you can't really control it, but sometimes you get part of a circle. I hope if you're just either starting out or you're just playing with paint, that you get paints out and just have fun with it. There's no right or wrong. You don't have to make something pretty. You don't have to make a masterpiece because there's only a few of those in the world anyway. And it's okay if you get paint on your face. That's fine too. I'm gonna put some water on that so it'll liquefy this a little bit more and make that paint go a little bit further. And then I'll even spray some so it drips down on some of those lighter colors. You see what I'm talking about? I'm gonna rinse that brush out pretty good because I don't want the paint to set up in that brush and ruin the brush. So when you're cleaning your brushes, you don't want to ever let them sit too long. So that one's okay for now. All right, I'm gonna use something else, which is a brayer. I'm gonna put a little water on it, and I'm gonna get some pink paint, and I maybe put a little white in it. And I'm gonna just kind of randomly use the brayer to put some paint on the canvas. It can give you a cool effect of maybe not just a straight line. You can even take the edges through it, creates a mess. Yes, it's a mess. It's a fun mess right now. And you want to put that in your water too because you don't want that to get too dry. Okay, next I'm going to do something because I had put some liquid paint in here a while back and I don't think it is going to come out of here, so I'm just going to do something different. This has a little dried paint up top, which I'm going to take out. And I'm gonna pour it on top. This is more of a glaze because you could see through it. If you see how I put it on top of these other colors, you could see through it, which is another way to paint. You can use glazed medium or matte medium. and get that same translucent effect. And you can scrape into it. Again, we're just playing. We're playing. Nothing has to matter right now. See how that pink goes over that turquoise? Isn't that pretty? I don't know if you can see it real close, but pink over turquoise really is pretty. Pink over anything is. This is pink over green. Sometimes when you spray into it, it wipes away some of the paint, which is another cool effect. There's so many different ways to paint abstract, and intuitively, you just paint what comes to mind, what you want to do. I'm going to take a small brush with some white and just kind of paint into some areas. I'm more of a geometric inline type painter, but I also try to do some different things, especially on these first few layers where it's just random. And you'll notice my circles that I'm making are not the same size. I might make a few of them in line like this, or I might make a big circle, different sizes, different areas. Sometimes you're just getting paint off your brush. Okay. Mixing some greens with some white. To make a lighter green. And that didn't work to put a color around it, but it's okay. Kind of making a green gray. And when it's mixed in with other colors, you never know what color you're going to get. When you really start mixing some colors up and playing around with mixing, you get surprises. So. All right, we're gonna take a larger brush, and we're gonna take some other blue. Take some water in it, and it makes it more of a translucent color when you add water to nearly any color. You can see through it. You just don't want too much water, because you want the paint to bind to your canvas. And acrylic paint is really plastic, so it will bind really good. Okay, I'm gonna watch the time, because I know if you get too long a video, then it might not be as interesting to watch a long video of just playing around. If you enjoy this, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Let me know you enjoy watching me playing around with paint. And I hope it inspires you to get out some paints yourself and just have fun with it. Again, you don't have to be the best at it. You don't have to make a masterpiece. Just having fun. And this is going to take a while to come together, because this is 2 big canvases. And got a lot of surface to cover, so I'm going to be spending some time on this, on both of these. I titled these Energy 1 and Energy 2, and if you go back 6 months ago and look at my 2 paintings that or the videos that I started with both of these, then you'll see that I put some words on the canvases. I put some affirmations. I put, on one of them I said, I have energy. On the other one I said, healed. Because you have to understand, I've been fighting fatigue for over 3 years. And energy is the one thing that I needed desperately. And so I was putting those words on the canvas before I put paint on it. And I even found some holographic discs that have changed my life with having energy. And if anybody has any questions on those, just give me a call. Not give me a call, but private message me. I'll try to get back with you because I have found a way to have energy now. And it's changed my world. So let me know if I can help with anything related to energy for you, and also sleep. It has been amazing to help me with sleep. So I'm all about helping others, and that's why I do what I do. I know it looks like I'm making a mess, but it's really going to be an organized mess as it comes together. And it's hard to know right now what it's going to look like after a few more layers. I tend to put quite a few layers, especially on my intentional abstract paintings. Oh well, that is a thick piece of paint. We'll just dump it in the trash because it doesn't want to work with us, so that's all right. hard to see what it looks like up close, I know, but it's gonna look like a fun mess right now, which is okay. At least feels so good to be painting again and making a mess. Okay. I'm going to stop on this episode and let it dry, and then I'll come back to it another day, and I promise it will not be in 6 months. I promise you. So I hope you enjoyed this. This is just to give you an idea of how to mentally, in your mindset, work on an abstract painting and not worry about it. Just having fun, not worrying what it looks like. This is the third layer. It will look very different, I'm sure, when I have many more layers. And just stay tuned. I hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe and ring the bell if you did. And I will see you on the next episode of the Naomi Butler Show. I have other videos on there that pertain to other topics. I have 21 cancer videos to give hope and encouragement to other cancer warriors. I have cooking healthier videos. My Zoom party with Naomi is business tips. I have other business videos on there and much more. So I hope you enjoyed this. I'll see you next time. Thank you.